Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Greetings, Algo Artisans, 8:31 a.m. EST on Thursday, the 16th of July. And here we are taking a look at probably our biggest winner of this week, the NASDAQ short. Tricky week, hard week to trade, although we're winning and we're making sure we don't lose over at Algo Factory. So we'll go through some of that here today. In the meantime, please go into the description. There is a free algo in there. It's basically the heart and soul of your agentic AI trading bot. And everybody wants to do the agentic AI trading bot. They want to have the computer do all the work for them and they magically make money. It's not how it works, folks. I mean, it is, but what you need is an algo to tell that bot what to do. Okay, that's the thing. You need the engine for that bot is an algorithm. We teach you how to build that. We teach you how to optimize it. The algo in the video, it's a very quick video, and that algo in there does need to be optimized before you use it, but we show you how to build an algo and we show you the tools traders use to connect it to the computer to trade for them when they're not sitting at the computer. So go ahead and check that out and like and subscribe. All right, cool. So NASDAQ breaking down after Kevin Warsh spoke. So Kevin Warsh spoke on the last 2 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, he testified before Congress. He was a little evasive on whether or not he wants to hike rates. He does say he wants inflation to be a thing of the past, and that usually means hiking rates. And I have heard some other reports from people close to me that higher rates are definitely in the future, but not necessarily right now. So they're being rather evasive on what's going to happen with the rates. And what I think is going to happen is that if we see a significant amount of deflation, if the NASDAQ and the SP 500 and the Dow, if they really take a hard fall, then we'll start to see like maybe rate cuts. But remember, rate cuts tend to, believe it or not, in certain circumstances, rate cuts tend to precede a bigger move down. And then once the rate cutting is done, then you start to see a bottom out and for the cycle to continue. And the reality is, if you ask me, if you start cutting rates, the rest of the world will no longer be interested in our debt. They're already not as interested as they used to be. And selling our debt is what makes the United States continue to work. If we can no longer sell our debt, our treasuries, then our economy basically goes in the toilet. So dropping rates doesn't really seem realistic to me from that standpoint. I don't know, maybe something will change, right? Maybe something new will happen. But for the moment, I wouldn't be surprised to see some rate hikes next year. That would not surprise me at all. And it seems that inflation in and of itself, yeah, sure, it's gone down a bit, but I don't know. It almost really doesn't matter. The decisions I make when I trade are on a very short time frame. It's intraday, or at least like a swing trade at the most. You on Algo Factory on these videos get to see the swing trades where I get into a trade, maybe on a Tuesday and I get out on a Wednesday or whatever that is. Rate hikes happen way into the future for that. So it's almost kind of not relevant to this conversation, but people do like to know which way the wind is blowing on that. So I'm going to go ahead and start jumping into the charts and to show how our week went and what I think is going to happen next. The NASDAQ is our biggest win. We're sitting here at about a 2-to-1 win. So basically, at first, when the week began, I thought the NASDAQ would continue down and break below. It did not do that. So as Monday and Tuesday went, you see these blue arrows. They were my next estimate as to where price would go. And one of the 2 blue arrows here was the one that worked out. So just to make this a little bit clearer, as the week kind of moves on, I just readjust my plan. And as the week moved on, I'm like, okay, if it breaks above, I'm going to go for this long trade. Not much of a trade, but that's a good trade. It's at least a 2-to-1, meaning if I put $1,000 in, I take $2,000 out. Now, the reality is that this trade played out. And yesterday morning, you see I drew this blue arrow, like, okay, I think it's going to go down, and go down it did. That's exactly what it did. So we made the right call on this one, and it's well past a 2-to-1 right now. Let's see, let me unlock this. I can tell you where it is on the profit scale. It's sitting at almost a 3-to-1, meaning that putting in $1,000, taking out 3,000, that's what's going on. right here. We're putting in 100 to take out 200. That's where it's at right here. I'm sorry, 280, so almost 300. So in reality, I could exit this trade and have tripled my money. More than that, actually. Quadrupled, to be honest. But yeah, I could do that. No, that's tripled. I could turn 100 into 400. It's quadruple, right? So 100 in the initial risk, pulling out an extra 300 on top of it, right? So if my math, I don't know. I'm lacking sleep. Well, let's just say putting in 100 to pull out 300. Leave it at that, right? And it's continuing down, by the way. And will it do so? Yeah, this does look pretty heavy, and it's looked heavy for a while. Okay, this is a typical pattern where it wants to go down. Now, the bearishness, we'll flip to a different chart here. The bearishness probably will continue. This is definitely a bearish pattern, and I don't expect it to let up anytime soon. We'll probably see this head down over the summertime, and if I had to guess where it's going to go, how low will it go? If this continues down, we could be looking at the October 2025 highs, and that is at 27,000 or so. The NASDAQ could easily go that low. In the near term, that's like over the next month or two, right? As the rest of the summer wears on, and they might catch it before September happens. But a nice panic down to 27,000 would be a nice, great place for everybody to get in, and it would give us a lot of volatility to play with over the summertime. Now, one can hope. Most people don't hope for price to go down, but I'm a trader. Up or down, I don't care as long as I get some strength in the move, right? I make money on this. This move down, I'm making money right now. Everybody else is just given some schmuck, whatever percentage every month to put their money into things like this, and then the price goes down and they lose money. I, on the other hand, devote a little bit of time to studying how to make money when price goes down, and that I'm making money. Everybody else is losing money, right? So now there's a key point here. On this trade, stop is at the entry. So basically, if price were to just reverse against us on some kind of news, then I'm not going to lose anything. But there is this level right there where price bounced and then went back up. Okay. I'm going to remove this original move since we've established where that is and it's public. I'll start to remove some of these older, data here that we're not using. Okay. Because it's all public now. The receipts are online. And, it may bounce right there because it bounced there before. See, you have this bounce right here, and it may bounce right there. And this is why stop is to entry. And if I see any indication that this wants to come back up, I'm either going to take profit because it's getting pretty late in the week, or I will take half the profit and leave the stop at entry. But right now, I'm just letting it run as it is. This thing could barrel down nicely and take all the way to profit by tomorrow. Let's take a look at what we did with Bitcoin this week. This was actually not a loss for us, right? So you can see what I thought I was going to do. And of course, this week was tricky. It was a tricky week. I didn't take any trades based on this. I just thought it would go down. It actually held up nicely, so I didn't take any trades. And as it held up, I thought, okay, we're at a key structure here. You can see my kind of faint blue arrow there, thinking it's either going to go down or it's going to head up, and then it's going to break up. So once it broke to the upside, I didn't need this blue arrow. I kept it on there just for research purposes, if you will. And then I'm like, okay, it's going to break upwards or it's going to come down and go up, and it just simply broke upwards. So I took the trade. And then as it got up to this level, it broke out. And I was fortunately right there when it did. I put stop to entry, and then it came back down and it took out the trade. So I didn't lose anything. Stop was at entry, meaning that if price comes down to where I got in, I'm out of the trade. No loss right there. And had I not done that, I would have lost my risk. So no loss on this one. That's always good news. Okay. So we'll eliminate all that. And I'll take a look at USD CAD, and then we'll head into the private live lab to talk about gold and silver and everything else. Okay. So here we are taking a look at what I thought would happen. And this one I was actually pretty accurate with from start to finish. This is the dollar versus the Canadian dollar. I thought price would kind of go down and to the side and then sort of do other things. And it really actually headed down. So by the time, this is like Monday afternoon. So by the time, say, like Tuesday morning hit, I'm like, okay, this, it might bounce here or head down. So I'll start to delete all this mess right here. Now it did bounce and the plan was to get in. So I got in here, and as price broke up, I could tell that it was rather bearish. You can see my blue arrow here. I'm like, I think this is going to head down. And I told everybody at Algo Factory, said, this is pretty bearish. I'm just going to put stop to entry. I could have taken some profit off, but there wasn't a lot of profit to take on this. So it was just a stop to entry and that's it. And it went down. And so I did not lose anything on this trade. Okay. I was in profit a little bit, maybe like a 1-to-1. So if I put in 100, if I put in 100, then I could have pulled out another 100. But at that time, I'm like, you know what? It's Kevin Warsh just talking. We don't know anything to say. I'm just gonna put stop to entry and play this safe, right? And I guess the safest thing to do would be to take profit here, but that's not part of my plan. And it went to entry, so no loss on this one, right? I conserved my capital, and that really is what this game is conserving capital, right? On a week like this, when you have CPI, PPI, Kevin Warsh talking, you have so many headline risks. You have news that could push price this direction or that. You're sort of, you could be conservative and cut profits early, but cutting profits early usually ends up not doing the right thing for you. If you back test and in your back test you're not cutting profits early, then you need to not cut profits early in your real trading, right? So back testing is looking through historical charts, building your trading algorithm, and you need to treat that as you would really trade. And it's a common mistake to cut profits early. A lot of traders do this. So in that case, it just depends. I have rules for that, right? So it depends on the scenario. But for like Bitcoin and for USD CAD, those were both scenarios where, okay, stop to entry, let it run. And that's what I did. And I conserved capital. I didn't lose anything. That's that. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to the private live lab. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good morning. And we're going to be back next week. Monday afternoon will be the weekly market report that comes out on YouTube, so check that out. Also, I will send that report to you if you go ahead and take a look at the free algo. It's in the description, right? So go to the description, get the free algo, and that will put you on the list to get the free report every week and other offers that we put out as well. In the meantime, we will go to the private live lab. Thank you for watching. Do not forget.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die. We love you.